this video is gonna be the first time we were watching this creator on a Jazzy, so make sure that you guys now more than ever hit that link that just showed up in the Twitch chat above my head. If you're on YouTube, in the description down below. This video is talking about if every killer fought in Dead by Daylight, who would win? And there's some real powerhouses in DBD that have some very, very busted and broken powers. So, you know, some people are taken by the entity and some people are invited in. Some people just kind of show up and the entity just kind of has to deal with it. There's obviously a lot of different power levels in the Dead by Daylight community, or Dead by Daylight community, in the Dead by Daylight killer roster. So that's, some are just gonna get slaughtered and some are gonna really roll the others. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what this creator thinks.
I have just been asked a brilliant question. If every killer in Dead by Daylight was in the same room and they all had to fight to the death, who would come out victorious? And yeah, today we're going to discuss that. So again, another pretty simple premise, but a really good question that I have never been asked before. So
they're actually
cool
fucked.
To be able to kind of go through every killer and think about how they would last in a fight.
Imagine Nemesis just like stomping
and
Victor.
Instead of giving you like kind of a verbal dynamic on how I think it'd go, like, oh, this would happen, then this would happen, then this would happen, this person would die, and then this would happen, because I think honestly they could go so many ways with so many hundreds of variables on the table. I don't think that would be the right way to come about it, but the way that I think that would be the best is to basically categorize every single killer
Trapper is just Trapper has some like endurance and resistance, but like he's just kind of like man with machete.
Based off a comment, some of the comments that you've been putting, guys, on what I should create has been absolutely phenomenal, whether it be serious guides or kind of stupid rank systems like this. Please let me know if you have any below. I have absolutely loved going through them, and I just want to keep making great content on great questions that you guys ask. And the absolute last thing that I'm going to mention is the only killers that I'm going to give a little bit of context on right now before we get into it is the Legion and the Twins. Now, Legion is what you play as one character, but you can choose up to 4 different characters. In this, I'm going to have it so all 4 versions of the Legion are there at the same time. You've got Julie, Frank, Joey, and Susie. All I
don't think that's going to help them at all. I don't think that's going to help them at all.
As the Twins, I'm not going to count them as fighting individually per se, because I imagine it'll be a lot of teamwork, if you will. But I am going to count their deaths as 2 different deaths. So I will have 1 death for when I think Victor's going to go, and 1 death for when I think Twins is going to go. But guys, I have rambled on far too long. Let's get straight into it. And these are the characters that I think would instantly die. First on the list is Victor, for obvious reasons. He's absolutely tiny. He will do little to no damage to any of the killers.
It's gonna lose twice, yeah.
Inconvenience is one of the humanoid killers, like Trickster or Legion or maybe Pig or something like that. But honestly, I can just envision this. The trial starts, every killer begins, and then fucking Nemesis stands on him.
Yeah, that's what I said. Nemesis squashes him.
Right so yeah, Victor, without question, would be the first to go. Next up on Instantly Dead, it is going to be the Pig. Now, the Pig, besides her little knife blade, she wouldn't really be able to put her traps into good use, so we can kind of just completely get rid of those from the equation. She is a small, thin female.
Dude, Knight and Oni fighting each other, that'd be a sick fight to watch. A really sick fight to watch.
Big, hulking monstrosities. She would get absolutely slapped very more or less instantly. As I feel, so would the Legion. I'd probably say Legion has more of an edge than Pig, because obviously there's 4 of them. But even though I'm ranking Twins and Victor as separate people, I feel like every member of the Legion would go down pretty quickly in the same kind of way. They may be able to sprint and get a good head start somewhere.
Susie being cute doesn't matter here.
Somebody who's going to be bigger and badder is just going to grab them and kill them. It is going to be absolutely no resistance. They might get an odd stab, but compared to some of the other weapons that the killers are bringing, that isn't going to do much either. So yeah, Instantly Dead is Legion as well. As is the Trickster.
Yeah, now, Trickster can't stand a chance.
Again, humanoid person. He has a bat with a blade on it, and he has his knives. So I think he would more or less die instantly. A couple of the little paper knives that he throws isn't going to really do much damage to many of these people, and he's just not familiar enough with battle.
Clown shouldn't be.
He's a killer.
The only thing he has
person, but everything he does is kind of done to hostages and to taken subjects, not like in a one-on-one fight, where I think Trickster would get his ass beated. So yeah, Trickster's in.
I love imagining this from like the perspective of like Demo or Nemesis or like the Xenomorph, right? Because you think just like Trickster's like, oh, I'm so hot, and Nemesis is just like stars. It just like crushes his skull like a watermelon. I'm gonna pelt you with my knives. Xenomorph's just like, like, who cares? Die, please. Thank you.
Instantly Dead 2, as well as the Hag. Now, the Hag, admittedly, is really, really strong. She's obviously a witch who can put down traps and hexes and all that kind of stuff, but I still feel like she wouldn't have enough time to do anything before another killer came up and just completely wiped her out. Like, she could be laying down little traps or doing a little bit of witchiness in the corner. Bubba could come by, swing his chainsaw, and it's a rip. It's
yeah, true.
Right there. So even though Hag is potentially powerful, I think she's too small, too nimble, and too weak as a base level to really be able to do anything. Next, it is going to be Freddy. Now, Freddy, again, he's just human. I don't really think he can take into account in this the dream.
That's not true. Dream
world and the dream state and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I think the only part of his powers that you can really take,
up one more.
because I'm going to be majority going on base game rather than lore from, obviously, from their films or their games that they're respectively from. But I do have to draw a
channel points now. I just like, is this video too old to have Xenomorph? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so doing the exact same thing. We're gonna put all the characters. Trickster I agree with. Clown might be at the bottom of Slight Struggle just because of the gas that can slow people down and make them hazy and gas them. Might get too hard ourselves. Let's make sure we just populate this bottom layer before we start making our own choices. Ghostface, yep, I agree with that. This tier list, if all the killers ended up in a fight, who would live? Where's Legion? There you are. Dead immediately. Well, finalists would be probably where that would go, because all the immortal characters would be against themselves. Skull Merchant probably also goes in Insta-Dead, because, like, she just has claws and claw traps. Like, against other characters, like, that's like nothing. That's literally nothing. That's literally nothing. So that just doesn't help at all. So she just gets rolled. You can rip people in half with their claw. Come on. Come on. Homie has knife, tricks, blades. You're telling me that claw is better than those? What in the cope did I just read? You're telling me a chick with no magical powers whatsoever, just with an arm claw, clears anybody? It's in the tone. Yeah, maybe she can clear some of these dudes, but she can't clear anybody else. Wraith can't do anything? Wraith has magical powers. Wraith can literally go into an entirely separate realm. What the fuck does she do? I get that we're Adriana Sims here to some extent, but like, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's be realistic here. What realm? That's how Nurse and Wraith do their little thing. Where they, like, you know, Nurse teleports and Wraith cloaks. They're going into this alternative realm that exists in the entities, like, trials. They're visible? No, they're actually like entering a separate realm. That's how that works. I believe Spirit's part of that too, but I'd have to like check my lore with that. Was Clown higher than anybody else with knives because he's got gas and like he's got the gas bottles, which is better than. I feel like these two are more similar. Clown's gonna be like at the bottom of that. Yeah, Hag I agree with. Hag is very frail in theory. And unless she's able to put down her traps and has set time. Merchant the edge over Clown? No. Merchant is not like an apex killer or anything like that. She literally, like, the only reason she gets anywhere is because she bullies people. What do you mean, huh? Like, this is a fight with everybody in the room. You think fucking Merchant's clearing Clown? You're gonna huh me? Like, she literally, the only way she gets away with anything is because of her technology. Easily, that's a cope. That guy with knife, okay. Yeah, he's not just fat guy with knife. What about all the like the concoctions he uses to literally knock people out and shit in his fucking lore? Is we just forgetting that? The purple bottles, yellow bottles, all the concoctions he makes. He's probably killed more people than she has, and she's literally called the Skull Merchant. Like, I don't know, man. Is it Skull Merchant? Probably not as bad as people make her out to be. Skull Merchant fans, thumbs down. Yeah, but what is it, Erebos? This isn't like a Cloud versus Skull Merchant discussion. This is like the whole roster. This is like the whole roster. She's good against one person. It's like Pokemon, right? Like you're saying just because she has the type advantage over Clown that she's gonna clear, she's in a different fucking tier than everybody else. Like it doesn't work that way. Slight struggle. Doctor goes up there. Doctor's mostly a guy, but he has vague electricity powers. That's pretty neat, you know? Like, he's got electricity powers. That's pretty cool. He can shock people. He's mostly just a dude. He's a very tall, imposing dude, but he is just a dude with vague shock powers. Trapper's kind of like in that same zone. He's got traps, and he's, like, incredibly resistant to pain. Like, incredibly resistant to pain. Doesn't Hag have magic? Okay, so, like, she does have magic, but, like, even in her lore, she's setting up curses and stuff. What, do you think all the killers in the same room are just gonna be like, hey, what's Agatha May doing over in that corner? Hold on, don't touch me! I'm hexing you! Like, no, they just beat the fuck out of her. Like, nope. Yeah, she's not even finishing one triangle. Wraith's kind of in the zone too. He can, like phase in and out of that spirit realm, but that's kind of it. He's just lanky man with hatchet. Like that spirit realm thing is kind of like all he's got going for him. You can stealth around, that's it. Yeah, Wraith would hide and try to pick a spot later. Well, that's what fucking homie was saying, is like, I guess even by like what, like if we're looking by like what they can do in the game about the lore of Dead by Daylight specifically, Freddy is probably in slight struggle, because like if we're just going by dream snares, like dream palettes, teleportation and stuff like that, that's not too impressive. I think it's better than like shock powers and tough skin and invisible powers, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not going to help him too tremendously much. Freddy can, yeah, he literally kinetically got nerfed. Like that's part of his plot. That's part of his lore, that he's mad at the entity because he used to be able to do so much and the entity nerfed him. Let's see. Yeah, Billy would be decent. He's fast. Got chainsaw. Very resistant. He's got like the same like resistance thing that Trapper has, but like he's you got chainsaw and he's fast. Hey Totos, how's it going, friend? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Nurse is probably put up a good fight. She can go in the dream realm and teleport and hit people, and is like, she's like actually a supernatural, like she becomes a supernatural being like in her when she's taking the entity realm. So she's like pretty good. She's pretty good. She might be at the bottom of this amazing effort, or will be, but like she actually became like a super powered being. So let's see. Myers goes in finalist because like Myers is the embodiment of evil. So like he may not win, but like he's certainly surviving. like he is certainly surviving no matter if he wins or not. So I guess that by ergo makes you a finalist, right? If you live through all of this, whereas the others will probably not. How's he survive? Because Myers cannot die. He is spiritually immortal, and the bounds of his powers are extremely vague. He can literally defy the entity and just worry people. He quite literally is the only character not the only character, one of the few characters in the game can quite literally break the entity's rules and do whatever the hell he wants. So like if the entity's like, hey, everybody fight together in the same room, Myers can just be like, no. I don't care. Huntress, big lady, very athletically strong, canonically in her lore has taken out like entire squadrons of soldiers, just with nothing but hatchets. Yeah, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. I wouldn't put her over Billy, because Billy's like actually has like vaguely superhuman mutant powers with how resistant he is and how fast he can run and stuff like that. But like she's pretty good. She's pretty good. She's just a person though? What Did that stop Batman? I mean, she's just a person. You think that she, like, bonk. Trapper, bonk. Wraith, bonk. Clown, bonk. Doctor, bonk. Freddy, bonk. It doesn't matter that she's just a human. She's a very good human. So, Bubba's just kind of like dude with chainsaw. He's probably at the top of Slight Struggle, but like, he's not intensely athletically gifted. He's just really strong and has a really big chainsaw. So like, he may be at the top of Slight Struggle, but he is. There's nothing really like impeccable about him. He didn't have any powers or anything. Spirits. I don't know. Either she's at the top of this or bottom of this. I might move her. I'll put her at the top of Decent Fight because like she just got the phasing thing and a katana, but she's also like herself very frail. You know? Like she herself is not very physically imposing. Yeah, she's like worse nurse. It's like where nurse quite literally can like teleport, she's still like slightly slower with traveling. You can't kill his dead, you can destroy it though. Basically Ghost, yeah, but she's like, she does have a physical form that's extremely frail. Like she's extremely frail, so like, I don't know. I could be convinced to put her in it at the bottom of Amazing Effort, but like, she's just like worse nurse. Say she won't just come back, but you have nothing to say it either. That's like Schrodinger's spirit. You're just Schrodinger's me. You're like, what's to say she doesn't come back? Well, we don't have any evidence that she will, so. Wagyu? I'll put her up at the top of Decent Fight. Being able to introduce a plague into this fight clears a lot of people. She is physically imposing too. She's a very strong and tall lady. Hi, Pi. Thank you for the follow, friend. Hope you're doing well. Like she could, it doesn't matter how physically strong she is. She's just a person. Sick. Billy depends. We don't know what his capabilities with that are. Bubba sick. Freddy probably fine. Doctor sick. Trapper sick. Rick sick. Like she just infects people and calls it a day, right? So like, besides like having like overwhelming superpowers, like being able to like live forever or like teleport at will, and also then like have all the rest of Nurse's powers, like she clears everybody below her. DeMorgan's pretty fierce, but at the end of the day is just kind of an animal. I think, yeah, very strong, scary, imposing animal, but like still just an animal. So like, I think it's fine. I feel like Huntress would not be able to take down the Demogorgon without modern weaponry, but I feel like everybody above them that have either magical powers or resistances, like this is the line here. You're like this, there's a line clearly that's just happening like right between Demo and Hillbilly. It was like really, really good physical creatures and people versus like, this is where the superpowers begin. You know? Oni, very amazing effort. Literally is a, you know, the demon dash, being able to just crush, rip, tear, actual samurai training when he was alive. Like, whew, that's a big boy. Yeah, Oni's very, very strong. Very, very strong. Samurai Doom guy, yeah. Deathslinger. He's really, the problem with Deathslinger is like, he's really frail. Like his harpoon is cool, but like he's really frail. Like he's like Slinger the person. Caleb is a frail, like he's a sharp shooter. That's in the wish. His harpoon is really devastating, but he is the character behind it, the physical man behind it is very, very frail. So like he gets into a fight with like even people in his own category, he's gonna be like barely clearing. It's just like, hey, if you could headshots on these guys before they get to you, cool. But like, if you miss even once, you're done for, brother. You're done for. He would be like the sudden death character. Like he'd probably take somebody with him but he would die fairly early on. Well, he wouldn't have to theoretically pull people. Like if we're just fighting people, he can just harpoon them through the fucking face and kill them. Let's see, Pyramid Head. Pyramid is in the enemy's realm because he said so. Pyramid's like, I'm here, and then he's like, that's cool with me, I guess. Yes, I get to agree with you. The eldritch demon entity that is running all the trials. I am on the same level with you, huh? Yeah, that's kind of scary. Blight? I'll just blast. Hey, I'm not a warlock. He kind of sits at this nice little zone of like, this is where people start getting superpowers, right? Because everybody else is either like human with slight advantage, or human with good tool, or human with like slight like resistance. But like, this is where like the superpower characters start coming into play. So that he's probably, I don't think he'd win against Billy or Spirit or Plague or anybody above him, but like, he really only has like a cane. But yeah, like the Bladed Serum would help him a lot, so I think that's fine. Tagged the most of killers? That's not a confirmed that he's beaten every single killer. Is it confirmed that he 1v1s every single killer and blights all of them? That's something they have said? Yeah, Schrodinger this. Because if we're doing that, then he's like, he's out here, right? Because he blighted Pyramid Head evidently, which is like, ain't no way he overpowered Pyramid Head to make that happen. That's fucking bullshit. You lying to me if that's the case. And we're like, no, I'm just saying, Dirk. I'm not mad at you. I'm upset with you. I'm just saying, like, you're not telling me he somehow wrestled Pyramid into the ground and forced that to happen. Like, that's not a thing. Twins, they're just, yeah, they're not great. I think Charlotte could take Hag. Yeah, they're just, yeah, even with Victor being like an undead little rat, like that rat gets squashed really easily, and then she's just Charlotte. So like that doesn't really help them very much. Yeah, she is just like, she kind of hits in this little sweet spot where like, you know, like Storm Merchant and Clown go, where it's like, hey, I'm just a person, but I have this neat little thing that helps me be slightly not a person. Like, hey, I have drones and a claw. I have so many chemical concoctions. And like, she's got, I got my brother, little zombie demon child. It's not a child. Nemesis? She's, yeah. Nemesis, in DBD, still, that's it. That homie is almost gonna make it to the end. Stronger than Oni? No. You're talking about a literal demon. You're talking about like a little demon with samurai training versus Nemesis? Nah. Oni clears that easy. Not easy, but like Oni clears that. Oni goes into Blood Fury and beats him. Yeah, Oni, the thing is, Oni has like the brutality and intensity that like Nemesis has, but he also has that like, he's got that training, so he can, if he needs to take somebody down, he can. So no, Nemesis is not clear Oni. Nemesis at the end of the day is just like an undead like super monster, which is still really good, but like he's not, the only real thing he has super going for him is like vulnerability. Yeah, Wesker's just a better version of like the viruses that Resident Evil is putting out, but we aren't to Wesker yet. So a lot of you guys are like, well, what about this character? We're going in order. It's fine. We'll get there. This bitch can't even swim. Yeah. I think, yeah, that's funny. It's always weird to talk about that, where it's like, oh, well, Nemesis could clear the entire roster. It's like, Nemesis got beat by Jill Valentine. You know, when he was theoretically stronger than the version he is in Dead by Daylight, you know? So. Pinhead, another one of those that's just kind of like, hey, the box is in your realm. I'm coming in now. And then he's like, I mean, I guess so. I can't really fight you. Like, like Box is in the entity's realm, and he's like, oh well, I guess I'm in here. And he's like, okay, whatever.
You what?
Pinhead is a demon in service to Leviathan, and has a whole posse. Like Omi is. Omi was like, I'm coming. The Box is in the entity's realm, and he was just like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Holy moly, that homie's powerful. Artist. I think I'll put her like. She just kind of hits in that nice little zone where Blight is, where like she's slightly a superpower human. So like, I don't know, like she can create inky birds out of thin air that can harm people. She's also very tall and imposing, and to some extent is made of the ink herself, which gives her some level of resistance and like invulnerability. So like, yeah, I think it's a better power than I go fast, you know. But she got some cool stuff. Yeah, we have like literal like entities that cannot die, that can defy the entity or have made deals with the entity, versus like I go birds that can make people go ouchies. You know. Sadako also up here. Sadako is like Sadako is one of those where it's like her power is very eldritch in nature, and the fact that it's just like infinite and indescribable. Like you take any of these people, even like Billy or something like that, and you're like, you watch the tape, you die in 7 days. Like, wow. that's pretty messed up. Little Biomedial versus Britko Cox. Yeah, she's got the same level of like that Myers level of like. She's also, yeah, she's right. I wouldn't put her up like up here. It's kind of like who's who. It doesn't really matter the order, but like she's got that Myers thing of like I can just defy the entity and just curse them. Now they're dead. Like you just can just ignore the entity's trial. Just I do what I want, which is one of the few characters that can do that. What's his tier list? If all the DBD killers in a room were in a fight, how would they do? How would they perform? Dredge? Dredge ends up in this like little super power zone. I don't know if he beats Artist or if he's below Artist. I don't know. He theoretically is much more imposing in his lore than he is as his character in DBD. His power, but like I don't know. He's just like it's so hard because his power is so like ill-defined in the game versus like what he's capable of. But I don't know like what he does in terms of like his fullest extent. Like and that's part of his lore too, is that he's like is essentially a baby version of what he will turn out to be. Yeah, but you gotta understand that he is also like a baby, like he is like essentially an infant. he is a baby version of what he's supposed to eventually be. So like I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, do I judge him on how he is now or what he will eventually be? Because he's not up here with these guys, because like these guys have like, if he's just like a little like eye slice of the entity, like all these guys can tell the entity what to do or just outright ignore the entity. I don't know. I can reasonably put him like right there maybe, because like it's like a little slice of the entity. He literally breaks the entity's rules. How is that not just a power? How did you guys have said this more than once? How does the Nightfall break the entity's rules? Killing somebody without the entity's permission breaks the rules. How does the Nightfall break the entity's rules? It's just another power. It's like saying like Oni's ability to power up breaks the entity's rules. It's like how does it do that? How's that not just an ability that it has? Oh, the dream world for Freddy breaks the entity's rules. Like, is that not just an ability it can do? Yeah, from the lore perspective, him being like a little slice of the entity, like evil incarnate or whatever, I can see that he is like something unkillable and intangible, but like he clearly isn't at what his he hasn't come to his full potential, his full fruition yet. Wesker, sure, definitely. Wesker was literally so powerful, he was aiming to take over the world at one point, and successfully doing so. He's just like this guy, but like perfected. The different virus that's more strong, more powerful, allows him to keep his mind intact for the most part. A superior intellect. Like, he is pretty awesome. He's just a little guy. Saturation of a global scale, if you will. Shut up. Don't you mean that little doll bitch? He can never stand a chance against me. I don't think either. Knight, you guys are really, like, you guys are really valuing Knight really high. I'd honestly put him at like the top of decent fight. He's got his whole posse, right? Like, Knight's got a posse. He is very strong himself. His mystical powers come in the sense that he can summon his homies at any time. But I don't think that's like exceptional. Yeah, I don't think that's exceptional. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I even put him above Plague. Like, she vomits on him, he's like, go get her, I guess. Like, I'm down for the count, guys. Go get her for me. Like, like, that's what he does in that scenario. She pukes on him. He's like, go get her for me. I'm sick right now. Oh, the singularities. In the Chucky week. It kind of sits in that demo zone. He has that superior intelligence, right? He's super smart. So he's like a very super smart sentient animal. But he is essentially just a creature. So, like, he's just like the same feralness of like demo, but just like with a brain behind it. You know? No way Billy's being singularity? Why, is his little frail body with a fucking chainsaw? Billy running through with a chainsaw, just sawing him in fucking half? What does he do? Flesh. Skimpy robot leg that you probably kick over and knock him over. Arm, flesh, chest, flesh, back, flesh, head, flesh. Left arm, almost completely flesh. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is such a hard fucking cope. This is the biggest cope of my life. You don't think a character that has been canonically proven to have, like, superhuman resistance to damage and pain, who can move at Mach speed with a chainsaw that literally catches fire, could handle a fucking clinky ass fucking robot? I understand y'all like do that to the character, but that doesn't change his capabilities. Anyways, moving on to my character. Moving on. I'll be taking more questions. No more questions. This gets pretty complicated pretty quickly because Xenomorph probably hangs out like here-ish, but like if it is the queen, it gets really complicated because the queen can lay eggs and make more. I think for safety's sake, we're gonna say the queen skin is just like a nice little flourish and like not actually the character. So I'm gonna say not that. We're just gonna go with like the drone from the first film. Like, the drone is extremely durable, excellent killing machine, instantly adapting, extremely crazy. But like, I guess a giant man with a claymore and like 3 other spirit guys, like, homie's getting beat. Plague, it's kind of like, I imagine the Xenomorph is not in like just totally like resistant to plagues. The blood melts through metal, but yeah, the homie would have to like die for that. You know what I'm saying, Dino? Like, the blood, they can only like kind of mildly spit their acid. It's only like this much. The only thing they've ever done in the movies. So that wouldn't be enough to take down Knight and his other goons. Whipped it like a weapon? Yeah, but that wouldn't clear, if it wouldn't even clear Predator. Why are you guys quoting AVP to me? That was the first horror movie I ever watched. This is the whole reason I'm even here. Why are you guys quoting to me AVP? Hey, Bran, did you know an AVP? Yes. Matter of fact, it's the first horror movie I ever watched start to finish. I was there. I use the grit skin all the time. This may shock you. How is Myers so high then? Because he's literally immortal. He is the embodiment of evil, and he ignores the entity. Like, if the entity put all these people in a room and said, fight, Myers could theoretically just say no. Like, he can do whatever he wants, evidently. When he doesn't, oh my god. Okay, so, let me put it this way. Let me say this again. Let me bring the mic real close since we're having some issues understanding. Yeah, okay. Sometimes, for entertainment's sake, I like to exaggerate or make jokes. It's very cool. It's part of being a streamer. It's very fucking fantastic. Very fucking fantastic. So, yes, if you want to nickel and dime my exact wording down to a T to get your point across, yes, he does not actually have to die to use his acid. Congratulations, you've won. You've pried it from my cold dead hands, and now I am irritated. Thank you, you did it. Congratulations, you get a pat on the back. You get a reward. And the reward is the lack of my patience.
I think we did a pretty good job so far.
But, for the point that you are trying to fucking make, which is that the Knight beats Xeno because of this, Knight comes at the Xenomorph with a claymore. Chops him, cleaves him straight through. Acid gets on him, maybe it's a tie. But even then, Knight doesn't have to do this by himself. He can send the 3 ghost guys to go do it for them, who don't get infected by acid. I love this character so much. Does not work that way. The power of friendship. Power of God and anime on my side. I'm evil, sword king that harms, you know. You're coping hard for this character, and it's literally my favorite horror franchise. Homie's afraid of fucking fire. Like, it's still an animal. You're acting like it's fucking invincible. It's implying that medieval conventions can even hurt them. What? What do you mean damage them? You mean tear them apart? What? This is such a hard cope. This is so weird because, like, my bias should be showing. I should be putting the Xenomorph higher because I love the Xenomorph. You're doing it for me. You're taking it the whole way. Literally, normal bullets kill these things. You're saying a sword couldn't cleave through them? You're saying ghost weapons couldn't cleave through them? So why not different with the blade? I don't know, Scorpio. We wanted to quote AVP when it came to me making like an offhanded exaggeration, but we won't quote AVP when it comes to a blade being able to injure them. Why are you telling me this, Bran? Didn't you know this about Xenomorphs? Yes, I have seen every single Alien film. I have read and watched and played so much of the extended universe. You are talking to the wrong person. Of Bran, you didn't think of this. No, I am very well informed. That's a good point, Cassie. I didn't even think about that. The jailer with the fucking the metal prod, like that literally is a Xenomorph weakness. Instantly dead. The thing is, Chucky is like, the thing with Chucky is he's theoretically like, he's in that weird zone where he's like indestructible, and he has like, as it's been proven in the movies, he actually has like inhuman strength and stuff like that. So he's like deceptively. It kind of puts him in a weird zone of like that spirit area where like she's technically like just a ghost, but like physically she's not imposing at all. So he would get like clocked by most people, but he would be able to keep going. Like he wouldn't beat anybody here, but like he would keep coming back. So I'm just gonna put him at the bottom of decent fight. Because like the whole I come back and like I don't die and I can keep coming back thing would get probably Caleb. It could probably eventually get Wraith or Clown, but like it couldn't like Fortress could very comfortably destroy every doll one after the other. Shred Demo could very comfortably destroy every doll one after the other. Singularity, Blight, Artist, Hillbilly. So it's just like, yeah, you can come back forever, that's neat, but like That only affects the people who are only vaguely human. Everybody else who is either like vaguely superhuman or is it like a really, really strong human that like that doesn't affect them. So he has that stamina, he had that endurance, but like other than that, like that's all he's got going for him. Unknown, we don't know the full extent of his power, so I feel like he has to go up there. The entity did grab him though, so he can't actually defy the entity. I'll put him right here. We don't know. That's the problem. I'm just gonna put him comfortably at the bottom of that, because like you can't defy the entity because the entity took him. So no matter the full extent of his power, he's not stronger than anybody in the finalist here. So if we just look going into physically, like him and Nurse are kind of in that same zone of like superpowered human with vague teleport powers. Yeah, because if we're trying to figure it out, like he can't tell the entity what to do because the entity took him into the realm. So he can't be more powerful than the entity. So he's in this zone of being like really strong, but technically he still has to do what the entity tells him to. So yeah. Yeah, there's nothing I would move. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that.